guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be talking about confidence, how I became more confident, how you guys can be more confident, and yeah, just things that help with confidence. The first thing I did to become more confident is I wrote down a list of all the things that I'm good at and all the things that make me quote unquote good. Because I feel like a lot of the times why people are not confident is that they are focusing on all their negatives, on their flaws, they're hypercritical of themselves. And it's like when you're constantly looking at like what's wrong with you, what you're not doing, how you're not good enough, like that's what's going to fill your brain, that's what's going to fill your consciousness. And honestly, to just change your self-image, to become more confident, you just have to start looking at how you are good, how you are showing up, what talents you have, what skills you have. And I literally wrote down like what qualities are good about me, and I listed them out. And then I'm like, wait, this is so true. I'm good at this. I'm good at this. This is a quality that's good. And it doesn't have to be just skills like typing or like engineering. It can be like qualities, like if you're funny, if you're kind-hearted, if you're sweet, if you're charismatic, like those are all really good things. And it's like once you write it down, you recognize it and you're just putting your energy and focus onto that. And that's honestly the difference between confident people and not confident people. Confident people and people with high self-esteem, they're always focusing on what they are doing right, the things that are good about themselves, and they put all of their energy and focus on that. Because at the end of the day, people are all flawed, okay? We're all humans. We're honestly all on the same level. Like all have good and bad things about us. It's just the people who are like more confident in themselves, they put most of their energy onto how they show up and how they're good. And it's like that's the only difference. Because something that like changed my brain is like there's so many successful people who are not even the most talented. Like you look at J-Lo, you look at P. Diddy, you look at so many different actors, Gal Gadot, like people were like, oh my god, she's not a good actress, but she's so successful. J-Lo, she's not a good singer, but she's wildly successful. It's just because these people think that they're so good and that they believe in themselves so much that they just do it and they go for it and they focus on the things that they are good at. And then that doesn't mean that you don't have to be good at something, but that just means, okay, I think I'm talented enough to be successful. I can focus on my talent and I can make it better. And that leads me to my next thing is like, focus on your strengths. Honestly, I think in life, if you're good at something, double down on it. There's this saying that when things are easy, press the gas pedal, and when things are hard, it's like something that you shouldn't be doing. And I feel like in life, if you're trying to build something or you're trying to figure out your job or your career, like think of the things that you're naturally good at and just make yourself better at it. Like make yourself the top 1% of like sewers, or the top 1% of engineers, the top 1% of designers. But I feel like you gain so much confidence from just like your innate skill. Like it's like fulfilling to be like, oh my god, I'm actually really good at that. So write down the things that you're naturally good at, whether that's singing or whether that's design or whether that's math, and just get better at it, because you're gonna gain a sense of confidence and a sense of like, damn, like I can do that, just from being talented and skilled at something. And everyone has skills that they're uniquely good at. So yeah, double down on it. Be the sharpest tool in that first freaking skill. Other thing I did to be more successful is I started to take life less seriously, because I feel like especially if you're watching this video and you're into self-development, you're like, oh my god, I have to be like this, I have to be perfect, I have to be like not Jeff Bezos, but you have to be so many different ways, or I have to wake up at 5 a.m. and I have to do this and I have to work out and I have to eat clean and I have to meditate, and it can be so overwhelming and just so overwhelming, and there's so much pressure. And I feel like I just do so much better when there's not that much pressure, when it's like, you know what, it's actually not that serious. Like we're in this world to live and to exist and to experience life. It's not that deep. Like things are not that deep. And for me, I still wanted to improve and like build on my confidence, and like confidence comes from evidence. Like for example, in the last example, you have evidence that you're a skilled writer or you're skilled X, Y, and Z. That's going to build up on your confidence. And for me, I just started doing quote unquote experiments. Like, oh, I'm going to experiment and see if I can run a 5K today, or I'm going to experiment and see if I can post a YouTube video every week. I'm going to experiment and see how many YouTube videos I can film in 1 week. You can do so many different experiments, but it's just kind of testing your skills and your abilities. And it's like when you actually succeed and you fulfill this experiment, it's going to give yourself more confidence. Like, oh my god, I did this in 1 week, or I did this, or I ran a 5K and I really put my heart and soul into it. That means that I can do other things. Like it's just building your self-belief and your self-trust. And sometimes it's scary to be like, I'm going to test my self-trust, or I'm going to test how good I can be. But if you just treat everything as an experiment, like, oh, I'm going to experiment and see what I can do. It's so much more lighthearted and fun, and like there's like not as much stakes. Like you're not, what's the word? You're not threatening your sense of self-worth or your sense of self-identity when you treat everything as an experiment, and you're just going to be building up this evidence of like why you should be confident. And yeah, I watched this one video, Alex Hormozy said it best, like you can only build confidence from evidence. Like when you build up so much evidence that you can do something, that you're accomplished, that you're successful, that you're talented, your brain has nothing else to believe in but that. It's just building up positive evidence. The thing that I did to be more confident was I started listening to my gut instinct. Like literally the other day I was messaging this guy and he wanted to like take me out on a date, and the second that he like messaged me, I just had a bad gut feeling. It wasn't even a big bad gut feeling, but there was just a little bit of like a bad gut feeling, and I was just like, I don't know, like this is just kind of weird, like. And I doubted myself for a second, like, but it wasn't that big of like a gut feeling, but I pushed anyway. And I was like, you know what? I would rather trust myself than doubt myself, but at least I'd rather trust myself. And I was like, I'm not going to doubt myself. I'm going to just not go out with this guy. And that helped me so much, just because the hardest part about trusting yourself is just actually trusting yourself, like moving through the doubts. But when you trust yourself and you trust your inner guidance and your intuition, like even when it's minute, like, and most of the time when you're becoming more intuitive or you're trying to tune into your inner voice is so small. Like your intuitive hits just hit you once and then that's it. And that's the difference between intuition and anxiety. Anxiety, you're going to keep on thinking about something and that thought is going to keep on like populating in your head. But a true intuition, it will pop in once and that's it. You'll get one bad gut feeling, you'll get one download, and just being able to listen to that is going to make you so confident, because when it does matter, like maybe this guy would not have been, it just would have been a bad experience, he wouldn't have done anything to me, but when it does matter, you know that you have yourself and you have your own back. And when you do have to make really big life decisions, you're going to be able to trust yourself and you're going to be able to make those life decisions. And that's a skill that honestly only confident people have, and confident people still struggle with making big decisions and just trusting themselves. So you just start small with trusting yourself with small things, learning what your intuition is like in your body, what feels good for you, what is like a bad gut feeling for you, how you're actually intuitive. That's going to help you so much. Just being able to tune into yourself and tune into your inner guidance and your inner voice. Something that also did help me with like tuning into my inner guidance and my inner voice is just like before I have to make a big decision, like I feel into it. Like, because sometimes like intuition, it's not logical, and sometimes what you're supposed to do is not the logical thing. What's best for you is not the logical thing for you to do. So I do this guided meditation, and I will link it below, where you feel into an experience. If you're like, I want to go to this college or this other college, and your feeling states or your feelings are a tool, like their guidance into what's in it for your highest self, what's best for you, what's not best for you. And I do that to just help myself tune into my inner guidance. And another thing I do is I find bits of quiet in the day, especially with all the doom scrolling and like social media and all this content that you're consuming, and you're constantly plugged. Like you cannot listen to yourself if you're constantly every 10 seconds like your brain is getting new information and you're just scrolling all the time. Like you can't possibly listen to yourself. So I started to meditate in the morning and just create bits of like quiet, where sometimes I just won't listen to music, or I'll just like I won't listen to music and I'll just be quiet and by myself, just to be able to tune into myself, tune into my body. And I think that's important, because you need to cultivate a space to be able to connect to yourself and to connect to your inner voice. Another thing I did was I worked on my self-talk, kind of similar to what I said in the beginning. When you're constantly, usually people who are not confident in themselves, they don't have any evidence to back up why they should be confident in themselves, but also they're usually like really focused on what's wrong with them. They're really hypercritical and they have a negative lens of themselves. And that usually translates to the self-talk. Like if you're always bullying yourself or talking bad about yourself or shaming yourself, like, oh, I should have done that or I should have done this, then you're co-creating a negative self-image of yourself. But if you start even faking it and saying, oh my God, like I'm doing so good, like I'm so proud of myself for this, and start patting yourself on the back and seeing what you are doing and like calling it out, like, oh my God, I'm so proud of myself. I sat down and I did this YouTube video. I'm so proud of myself. I went to the gym. Like, you are creating evidence of a positive self-image, and you just want to basically water the version of yourself with the positive self-image. And like, all your thoughts is basically, your thoughts are like water, okay? And you can be watering different areas of your life. You can be watering the version of yourself that has like a negative viewpoint of yourself, or you can be watering the version of yourself that is positive. So it's like your brain right now, you're constantly watering the negativity about yourself, when it's like you can be watering the positivity about yourself. And the more that you focus on that, the more it's going to grow. Yeah. So I feel like I just started to just think positively about myself, call out and congratulate myself on all of the small things that I was doing, how I was showing up. And in the beginning, I was even faking it and saying, oh my God, you're so amazing, you're so this, you're so that. And in the beginning, sometimes it does feel like you're faking it, but if you keep on saying it enough, like, it's gonna start to feel real. The other thing I did is, every single time you make a decision, you are deciding what type of person you're gonna be. And I had this thought all the time when I was trying to show up better for myself. What would a person who respects themselves do? Would a person who respects themselves like sit around and scroll all the time? No. They would say, oh my God, I told myself I'm gonna film a YouTube video today, I'm gonna do that. And it's like, every single choice that you make, you are watering different versions of yourself. You can be watering the version of yourself, the old you who has bad habits, bad self-talk, bad self-image, or you can be watering yourself, the version of yourself who likes themselves, who is confident, who always follows through on what they say. So it's like, every single decision, you are deciding what kind of person you are. Like, literally every single decision, down to what you eat, you are deciding what kind of person am I. And within every single decision, you can decide, do I want to be person B or do I want to be person A? And it's like, it's your choice. And me putting that into perspective is like, wow, it makes it so much easier for myself to show up for myself, to film YouTube videos when I don't want to go to the gym when I don't want to, because I know I want to be this type of person and I want to water this life and this version of myself. And it's like, when you put it that black and white, that makes it so easy to just do the things that you want to do. And when you do the things that you say that you're going to do, you're going to build up positive evidence, and you're going to be naturally more confident in yourself, and you're also going to respect yourself. And I think that's a big key. How are you going to be confident in yourself if all you're doing is your bad habits and you don't have any sense of self-control and you're just scrolling all the time? Even though, yeah, these companies are stealing our attention span and they are really addictive, but at some point you just have to take responsibility for yourself. And I think confidence comes from like self-respect. Like, what if you respected yourself, you would be confident, because you know, oh my God, I'm the type of person, I eat super healthy because I respect myself, I go to the gym because I respect my body, I do the things I don't want to do because I respect myself enough, and I love myself that I want to like achieve my goals. So it's like, confidence is all about self-respect. And I would just go around, like, this changed the most for me, but it's like, I would just go around, I'd say, what would a person who respects themselves do, and just do that, and I promise you're gonna be freaking confident. Yeah. I hope that helped, and I'll see you in the next video.